Hey guys, this is Bolo and today in this tutorial I will show how you can create this kind of CGI visual effects videos in Blender using FSpy application and GeoTracker for tracking easily. So hope you guys will find the video useful, and before going to this video I'm requesting to like the video. So I will give a target of like 20 likes for this video, so I hope it will be completed. So without any further delay, let's start today's tutorial. So here I'm using this FSpy application. So first of all, let me show you the footage. So here I'm using this footage which I got from Pexels. I will leave a link in the description. So for FSpy application we need to have image, right? So come to the starting frame, and if you are using VLC player, go to this video and take a snapshot. And also I am using an HDRA from Polyheaven. So this is the HDRA which I'm going to use. So I will leave a link in the description for both of these elements. Okay, you can download and follow along. So now let's drag and drop this snapshot over onto this FSpy application. So vanishing points, let it be 2. Vanishing point axis xn will be there. So now let's adjust the x-axis. So here I'm not finding any parallel lines, right? So I will match this andaz with an andaz. So let's place the x-axis here and let it be here. Another x-axis, I will place this at the bottom of this cliff. Okay, so I think this would be fine. Now y-axis, I will place it here. So, and this y-axis, I will place this here. So let's place this and let's see. So I think this will be okay. And let's enable this XY grid. So I think this is matching the perspective. So now let's save this one. So go to this file option, save. Here I will save this as 7777 and save. So now we can close this FSpy application and open Blender. So here I'm using Blender 4.3 version. So now let's import that FSpy data what we have saved. So go to this file option, import, select this FSpy. And by the way, if you're not getting this option, means you did not install the add-on yet. So you can check a link in the description, or else you can click on the iCard above where I have showed how to download and install this add-on. So once this is done, select the FSpy and load the file. So this is the file, select it and import FSpy. So now you can see we got the camera along with the image. So now we need to replace this image with the video since we are dealing with the video. So come to this camera options here. Being selected this camera, select this camera options and come to this background images, expand it, change this to movie clip and load the footage from here, open. So footage is here and open clip. And let's change the opacity to 1. Okay. So now let's model this cliff roughly. So let's add a plane. So shift A, come to this mesh and select a plane here. So let's rotate it RX90, and here I will place this on the cliff here like this. So let it be here like this, and press tab key for edit mode, or else you can change it from here. Let's select this edge selection. Let's place the edge here. So I think this will be fine. Now let's select this edge, drag it till here. Okay, till the bottom of the cliff. So now being selected this edge, press E and extrude in Y axis. So this cliff is covered. Now let's select this edge here, press Y and extrude along the X axis. Now let's select this edge, press extrude along this X axis, and select this also, extrude along the X axis. So now let's enable this X-ray vision so that we can see clearly. Now let's add some loop cuts. So Control R. So first loop cut I will add this here. Now change this to vertex mode, select this vertex and let's place this here. Okay, so now let's add some vertices. So Control R. So here we got the loop cut, right? So now use mouse scroll wheel. So if you scroll up, we can see we are getting these loop cuts, right? Add few loop cuts. Okay, so now we need to adjust this manually. So it will be a bit of time consuming. So I will make this fast forward. So here I have added some extra loop cuts to match with the shape. This portion I won't do that because I want the plane to be passing from below this portion, right? So I want this to be perfect. And here also we need to make the shape of these plants which are covering this portion, right? So I will do that also now. So here I have modeled those plant shapes. So here I think I don't need that because I will make the plane to come from this side. So I am not bothering about these things. And press tab key. Let's select both these edges here and let's extend them, or else let's do the tracking first, later we can extend. So now let's do the tracking. So here I will be using geo tracker. So press N on the keyboard. Let's disable this extra vision. Now come to this geo tracker, create new geo tracker. So in clip we need to load the clip once again. So open, select the clip, load clip. In geometry we will get the plane what we have created, and in camera we will get the FSPY data. So after that, click on the analyze option. You will get analyze option. Here I'm getting reanalyze because I have analyzed the footage already. So click on the analyze button. It will ask for the frames. So here I will reduce the frame count to 300. Okay, and okay, nice. So this will start to analyze our footage from starting frame to end and end frame to start. So here the analyzing is done. After that, change this to camera option. Since we are tracking camera, change this to a camera option. Start pin mode and click on this track forward to end option. So here it starts to track the footage and we will be getting the keyframes added. Right? You can see we are getting the keyframes added here. So here our tracking process is done. So now click on this exit pin mode and let's change the end frame to 300 only. So now if I play this, you can see our structure or this clip structure will be following the camera movements. Nice. So now the tracking process is done. So press N on the keyboard to close this option. And first of all, let me save the project. So go to this file, save. So the project is saved. So now let's add our CGI elements. So before do that, let's add a path here for the plane. So let's split the screen here like this. Okay. So this is the screen. So we are seeing through the screen, and let's come out of this. Now let's add a curve. So shift A, curve. So yeah, I will be selecting this path option. So this is the camera, right? So I will point out towards the camera here like this. Okay. Now press tab key for edit mode. And now let's select this vertex. Press E, extrude, E, extrude, E, extrude. So here I have created this path. So here I want the plane to be travel along this path, right? So now let's get the plane model. So here I will be using this blender kit to get the models here. So now let's close this window. Okay. So now let's search as aeroplane. So here I will be using this model. So simply click on that and it will be loaded here in the scene. So here we got the model and it is parented to empty, which is good. So let's place this here. Press 7 for top view. So this is the starting portion of the curve, right? So let's place the model here. Let's reduce the scaling so that it matches with the scene and rotate this here towards the path. And so let's see through camera. And first of all, let me place this model. Now that would be fine. Now let's bring this at the starting portion. So let's select the curve, press tab key for edit mode. Let's select this vertex here and shift S, cursor to selected. So now let's select the empty. So select the empty of the plane. So shift S, selection to cursor. So we got the plane model and press 7 for top view and let's rotate this so that it matches the path of this plane. Okay. So now we need to make this plane follow this curve, right? So for that I will be using follow path. So we need to apply that follow path to this empty since the parent is controlling this whole plane, right? So I will be adding that to empty. So select the empty, come to this constraints, object constraints and add follow path. And in target we need to select the curve. So here we got the plane. So first of all, let me check the axis. If I change to X, and I think it got to this axis, so I think the direction is reverse here. So in order to change the direction, so let's select the curve, press tab key and come to this option here and enable this normals. So now we can see the direction. So here you can see this is the direction. So this is the starting point, right? So let's reverse the direction. So press A to select all the vertices, right click and select the switch direction. So now we got the starting point here. So press tab key to exit this mode and here select the empty. Let's place this Y, select the X, and now let's place the plane here. So press 7 for top view. So I think this direction is correct and we need to bring it down. So I think, yeah, this would be fine. So now we need to make this follow the curve, right? So for that, we need to click on this animate path. Before to that, follow curve option. So it is rotated once again. So let's rotate this. So rotate this in this direction. So now if I play this, you can say, let's see through camera and let's zoom it here. So now you can see we got the plane. And first of all, let's increase this timeline. So select this curve, come to this curve option, come to this path animation. So here I will change this to 300 frames since our timeline is of 300 frames. So now it will take 300 frames to travel from this position to ending position. Okay. So here we need to make the rotation change, right? So for that, let's select the curve here, press tab key. So let's select these vertices here, Control T, T for t-shirt, and let's rotate this a bit here. And this will hit the cliff. So let's select this portion and bring it here and bring it down. Yeah, so now this is passing good. And here, okay, this is reversed. So let's select this vertices. Let's select all the vertices, Control T, and rotate this. Now Control T, okay. So here, if you want, let's see through camera. So here it passes, right? Yes. So now this is looking good. So let's see once again, press 0 and let's press tab key. Now if I play this, so we got the plane here. It's rotated a bit. Oh, okay, this is not looking good. It is rotating like or moving like roller coaster thing. So let's press tab key once again. Let's adjust this space here. So now if I play this, we can see we got the plane following the path and this is looking okay for me. Later I will do some fine tuning and all. So now let's rotate this front thing. I don't know what this is called as, but this will be rotating, right? So let's do that. So here I think this is a y-axis. So let's rotate it. So be on the starting frame, add a keyframe for this y-axis. So make it 0, add a keyframe. Now come to the last frame and make it 10,000 and add a keyframe here. So we got both the keyframes. So now press A to select both the keyframes or box select these keyframes, press T and make it linear so that the speed or rotation of those things will be constant. So now we will get the rotation also. If you want to increase the speed, just change the end value. So I will make it as 20,000. Later we'll be adding motion blur anyway. Yeah. So I think this is fine. So now we got our basic thing done. So now let's move on to this render viewport here. So the scene will be looking dark because there will be no light in the scene. So come to this word properties, click on this yellow dot of color and add environment texture here. So here we will be loading HDRI. So I will be leaving a link in the description for the HDRI I'm using. So you can use whichever HDRI you use that matches the scene. So open. So here I got the HDRI and open image. So now we got some light in the scene. So come to this render properties and come to this film option and make it transparent so that only the light is visible, and also enable this ray tracing. So now we need to match the shadows. So here the shadows, I think the sun is in this way. That's why the shadows are falling this side, right? So let's make that happen. So in order to rotate the sun, we need to rotate the HDRI. So come to the shading options, press 0 to see through camera. Let's change this to shading viewport, render viewport. And here change this to world. Okay. Now select this node here, press Ctrl T for node wrangler. And by the way, if you're not enabled node wrangler, go to this edit, preferences, and in add-ons look for node. So by default, this node wrangler will be disabled. Enable it, save those preferences and close it. So from here, let's rotate the Z axis. and let's see the shadow. So I think this is the way the shadows are falling. So you can see we are getting the shadows clearly. So now let's move on to this layout once again. So now if I play this, we need to have the shadows of this plane on this water body, but they are missing, right? So let's make it happen. So before to that, let's bring our cursor onto this world surface. So Shift S, cursor to world origin, we got the cursor. So now Shift A, mesh, select a plane. So we got the plane here, and here I will move it down a bit so that I think this is fine. Now press S, increase the scaling here, and I think let it be here like this. Okay, and S, X, or else let's increase this completely. Okay, so we want the shadows, and first of all let me see whether this plane will be going through this plane. No, you can see it is not going through this plane. So now you can see we are getting the shadows. So here we don't want this plane to be visible, we want only the shadows. So for that we will be using cycles. So let's come to this render settings and change this to cycles here. Enable GPU compute. Now come to this object properties, come to this visibility and enable the shadow catcher. So now we got the shadows here, and the same thing, select this cliff and make it as a shadow catcher. So now we are getting rid of that plane, but we will have the shadows visible. So I think this is looking good. And here I will be adding text. So I will show you how to do that also. Shift S. So for that, let me change this to solid viewport and let's add the text. So Shift A, come to this text option, and here I got the text. So I will rotate the text here. So let's come to this Z rotation, make it -90, and let's bring the text here like this. Press tab key to edit the text, backspace to delete it, and enter your text. Again press tab key, or else you can change this to object to exit that one. So this is not a mesh right now, so we need to convert this into mesh. So before converting this to mesh, let's do some modifications to this text. So come to this text property. So alignment, I will make it center. So this is the center. So let's place this text here and come to this geometry. So I will give it some extrusion. So I think this is fine. Let it be here like this. And depth, I will add 0.01 so that I will get some nice bevel edges. So let's place the text onto this plane. Okay. And if you want to change the font, you can do that. So come to this font options and select the folder. So we will get the fonts which are installed in your system, and you can select any of the fonts. So I'll use this font only. So this is not a mesh. So if I press tab key, still we can edit this one. So we need to make this as a mesh. So further go to this object, convert to mesh. So now if I change this to wireframe mode, you can see the mesh is not looking good. So we need to make this right. So come to this modifier options, add modifier, come to this generate and add remesh modifier. So change this to smooth, uncheck this remove disconnected option and increase this octree depth value. So let's come to the shading and enable this smooth shading option. So now you can see we got our text and this will be clean mesh. So let's apply this modifier, and if I move to this wireframe mode, you can see our mesh is clean. So make sure to do this one. So now we need to make this text look like it is floating on this water. So come to this modifier once again, add modifier, deform, add this displace modifier, come to this texture, click on the new and type, select the clouds. Now come to this modifier properties and let's reduce the strength to 0.02. So now let's add an empty. So first of all, Shift S, cursor to selected so that we get the cursor at this position, at the text position. Now Shift A, empty, select this arrow. So let's increase the scaling. So scaling doesn't matter actually. So in order to see properly, I am increasing the scaling. So let's select this empty, come to the starting frame, come to this properties option and add a keyframe for this Z axis. Now move to the last frame and I will give a value of like 800 and add a keyframe. Now we will get the empty rotated. So we need to have constant speed rate. So select both the keyframes, press T and make it linear. So now we got this rotating. Now select the text once again, come to the modify properties So in coordinates, change it to object, and in object we need to select the empty what we have created. So now if I play this, you can see we are getting that wiggleness, right? So if you want to reduce the speed, we can do that, or else you can increase the strength 0.03. Yeah. So now you can see it is getting some wiggleness, or else still we can increase the value to 0.03. And if you want to reduce that speed, just reduce the rotation value. So I'll make it 500 and add a keyframe once again. So now the movement will be slow. Still, if you want to reduce that speed, I will make it 250 and see. Yeah. So now this is looking good, and it makes us to feel that this is floating on the water. Nice. So let's come to the starting frame once again. Now let's move on to this render viewport. Press 0 to see through camera. So here we got the text, right? So let's reduce the scaling of this text a bit, and let's make it on the surface of water. So we need to add a material. So for the materials also I will be using this blender kit. So come to this material options, and here I will search for glass. So here I will select this glass. So simply click on that and it will be loaded onto this mesh. So now we got that name with glass material. Nice. So if you want to change the color, simply select it, come to this material properties and color, change the color from here. So yeah, I think this is fine. So now we have completed the scene already. So we got the shadows, it is flowing through the cliff and it is coming back. So now let's see the render settings. So come to this render settings, render properties, and here samples I will make it 16 and noise threshold I will make it 0.1. So these both settings are to reduce the render time. If your device is capable to render much samples, you can leave it to default. And if you want enable motion blur, here I will enable motion blur. So enable this motion blur here. Come to this color management and change this to standard. Okay, so that we get the true colors. And yeah, I think this is fine. Now come to this output properties. So resolution I will leave this to vertical format only. Enables render region, crop to render region. So frame rate we should match with the footage frame rate. So footage is of 30 frames. So I will change this to 30 frames. And the frame start and end 1 to 300 is fine. So you need to set this accordingly as to your scene. So come to this output properties, and here we need to select a folder where we can save the files. So quickly I will select a folder. So file format, let it be PNG, and make sure this RGBA is selected or else we won't get the alpha channel. So once these settings are done, just come to this render and click on this render animation. So this renders only the CG elements like this text and aeroplane. So this won't render this video. So later we need to use an editing software to do the compositing. So in this way we can create this kind of cool VFX videos in Blender easily. So hope you guys have learned something new from this tutorial. If you have learned anything new, please like, share and subscribe my channel to support me. So we'll meet in the next video. Until then, signing off. Take care. Bye.